Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. The recent collapse of FTX has started to drag more cryptocurrencies down with it. We just saw BlockFi file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy just last week. The other big player in the market is Coinbase, and we're going to see if they are going to file for bankruptcy. Today we're going to go over what has happened since FTX has filed for bankruptcy, where crypto is going and if it's dead, and finally, if Coinbase is the next company filing for bankruptcy. So let's get into it. So what effects did FTX have on the crypto market? Well, let's talk about Bitcoin for a minute, just to get a good understanding of what's been going on. In November of 2021, Bitcoin was trading around 69,000 USD, which was its all-time high. In the last few weeks, it's been trading between 16 and 18,000 USD. That's an over 70% drop in just about a year. That's been a really tough time on its investors and is part of the reason for this major collapse. FTX has caused a lot of pain in Bitcoin. So what else has it done? Well, it's caused another player to drop out of the market, and that's BlockFi. We learned last Monday that BlockFi was dropping out and actually filing for bankruptcy. This is because it had an extremely large exposure into FTX, as FTX was working to keep it out of bankruptcy before FTX fell into bankruptcy. So what does this mean? Well, they have over 100,000 different creditors that need to be paid, and it's going to be tough for them to get their money back. Even more important than that, anyone that has their money sitting in BlockFi could be in for a bit of hurt. If you haven't moved your money from the exchange into a crypto wallet, that means your money could be used to pay the creditors. That means it could be lost. So as a word of caution, if you have your crypto in an exchange, please move it into a wallet. That way they can't take this money and use it to pay the creditors. It'll be yours and no one can take it from you. All of these issues are due to cryptocurrencies being so centralized now. For years, crypto gurus have been asking for the currencies to be centralized, and that's because it makes it easier to buy, sell, and trade these cryptocurrencies. But unfortunately, that makes it that much worse when things go bad. For example, imagine if USD went bad and if it just started to collapse. Well, that would hurt a lot of people, not just Americans, because it's used by so many different countries and is depended upon by so many different institutions. That's the same thing that's happened here. A lot of companies have been focused on FTX and using them as their platform, and we're invested in them. And this caused a really big problem, not just with FTX, but as we see in BlockFi now and probably Coinbase. We're also seeing it in all of the different exchanges where Coinbase is losing value, cryptocurrencies in general are losing value. It really hurts everyday people and investors. Some exchanges are saying to their investors that they have a one-to-one solvency, and at its base, that sounds great. Unfortunately, that's not really the case. Crypto exchanges need to be telling their investors that they have a one-to-one in-kind solvency, not a one-to-one in value. And why do I say in-kind? That's because they would be invested in real goods, like real estate or something else that's actually solvent and able to produce value even in times of disaster. But unfortunately, most of them are invested in their own cryptocurrencies, and whenever they go bankrupt, so does that cryptocurrency, and it just drops, so they can instantly become worthless, and everyone loses out on that value. So finally, is Coinbase going to be next to fall? Well, it's tough to say, but if I had to give an answer, I would say no. But if you're an investor, here's some reasons to be pessimistic. First, although Coinbase might not have a large share of their investments in FTX, they're still going to be affected by it. Number one, it's caused investors to lose confidence in Bitcoin and in the crypto markets in general, which is how Coinbase makes most of its money. Number two, it also is just seeing a general decline in users because of that loss in confidence. And finally, number three, we're just not seeing cryptocurrencies do well ever since FTX has dropped. Now, we have seen a little bit of an uptake, but since November 4th, which was the day before FTX filed for bankruptcy, we've seen cryptos drop about 20%. And that's a long, hard drop in this short period of time. Another issue for Coinbase is they're losing money hand over fist. In quarter three of this year, they lost over $500 million. Just a year ago, in quarter three of 2021, they had net income of over $400 million. That's almost $1 billion swing in just 1 year. Couple that with their 50% decline in revenue over that same period of time, things are just not looking good over at Coinbase. Some more bad news with Coinbase is they're delisting some of their cryptocurrencies. Let me read some of them off to you. One of them is Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Ripple's XRP, Stellar's XLM, and those are just to name a few. They're claiming this because of low usage, but I find that hard to believe. For example, Ripple's XRP is the 7th largest cryptocurrency with over $20 billion in total value. They have $1 billion in volume each day. So maybe that isn't a lot of money for crypto exchanges, but to me that sounds like a lot. So I don't see it being low volume. We'll have to find out and read more about it, but be sure to leave a comment below why you think that's happening and what's going on at Coinbase. Do you think they're going to be next to drop? Overall, I don't think crypto is dead, but I certainly think it's hurting. Just another example in general is Kraken is laying off 1,100 employees from their company. That's just another bad thing from the FTX fallout. It's causing more and more pain, and we're seeing a widespread result of it. Perfect example of how things can just kind of cause an issue from one small thing and it can collapse everything. Look at the job market right now. One company started laying people off, and now we have all these large companies laying people off. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't job opportunities. There's about 1.75 jobs for every person that's unemployed, but it is a little ripple effect. So we'll see what happens in the future here, but I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general are in for a little bit of a wavy start here. We'll see what happens in 2023, and hopefully they can get back on their way up. Well, guys, it's been a wild couple of weeks here for crypto. Make sure you're making wise investments. Make sure you're looking up and doing your own due diligence before investing in something. Don't do something just because your buddy says to. Also, make sure you're looking out at the jobs report that came out on Friday. We're going to be having a video that talks about that, the Fed, and the housing market in 2023, where we think things are going from here. Finally, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.